Okay. Erchin Daf Gimel. No, we just finished saying that Nashim Achayos Megillah Sha'af Hein Hoyu V'Ois V'Yaneis, they were also saved in the Neis form. Therefore, they're going to be chayiv to hear the Megillah, chayiv to read the Megillah. Beseder. Hakol Chayovim B'Zimun. Next is everyone's chayiv B'Zimun. L'Sui Yimai L'Sui Nashim V'Avodim. To include Nashim V'Avodim, they're also chayiv in Zimun. The Tanya Nashim Mizaman La'atzman. If there are three women that are sitting together, they have to do Zimun. Avodim Mizaman La'atzman. Also, not together, they're not Nashim and Avodim not supposed to do more brachas because of Pritzus. Rashi says, why can't Nashim be mitzaref to men? Because they say bris shechasamtim, we say bris shechasamtim v'sorenu, which means that we have a bris milah on our body, but women don't, and therefore they can't say bris shechasamtim v'sorenu, and therefore we can't be mitzaref because it's a little bit of a different benching. Today, well, they would just take out the clause of bris shechasamtim v'sorenu. Today the Ramah says that we say it anyway, right? So Rashi's reasoning would fall away. The reason they bring down is some type of tznius, but if there's three men and then another lady, she is mitzaref with them. She's supposed to answer with them. But it's okay. There is a sheet brought down in the Torah, Rabbi Yehuda, that says that women could be mitzaref to men. Okay. A kol mitzaref in the zimun. What does a kol mitzaref in the zimun coming to include? It's coming to include a katan who knows who he's benching to. As long as he knows who he's benching to, so he can start from the zimun even though he's not 13 yet. And that's the way the halacha really is, except the Ashkenazim say, the Ashkenazim are noig that way, the Sfardim are noig that way. It's according to the Tosfos brings the Yerushalmi that says that even so, I ate with Abu Khalafta and they were mizaman until I brought BeiRav. Whatever. So there seems to be other sources. But either way, the minig of the Sfardim is to mitzaref katan, and the Ashkenazim not. The Omer of Nachman katan v'yadel mivorchim mizaman alav. Okay. Hakol mitamin v'ziva. Everyone's mitamin b'tumas ziva. What does this mean? What's this coming to include? Tinik ben Yermel. Even if a tinik ben Yermel sees if he has some type of leakage, some type of ziva, so then he's also mitamed the Tanya ish. It says in the parsha, ish matam whenever ish. Why does it have to say double lashon ish ki yes zav mi b'sar, right? Right, if he has ziva. The rabbi tinek ben yom echad. It's to include a tinek that's 1 day old. Shemitamed v'ziva div Rabbi Yehuda. Mishmal b'nei Rabbi Yochanan Rekom or ein tzarach. He says no. We don't even need that drasha of ish to teach you tinek's mitameh. It's simple. Why? The pasuk talks about generally the tumah of zav zayvay for male and female. The zachar kolshu, zachar ben katan begadol. It doesn't say an age. It says zachar kolshu, any zachar. So therefore, it doesn't include a katan and gadol. Nekeva kolshu, any nekeva ben katan ben gadol. Imkein matam alarm ish. Okay, so if so, what are you going to use the drasha of ish? You're not using it for katan. If you know it just stam because it says zachar nekeva. That's the way you speak. That's the way people speak. Every man. That's what ish means. Okay, no drash out of ish. Next, rice. Akol mitamin. What about akol mitamin? What's that? Akol mitamin b'tmemis. Everyone becomes tamim b'tumas mes. What's it coming to include? L'suyi katan. It's coming to include a katan. I think ish asher yitmo v'lo yischata. That's the pasuk. Ish asher yitmo v'lo yischata. Ish in katan. I would think only. The pasuk over there is Isha Sheyitmav Lo Yischatav, right, and then he goes into the Beit HaMikdash, so he'll have chorus. So I would think Ishin only of man, but a katan, he won't become Tamik. Mashmalon, we learn Mashmalon, and we know it from this pasuk. V'alan nefashoyis asher hayusham. The pasuk says, as long as you're a nefesh, you're mitameh b'tumas meis, right? So katan is a nefesh, and therefore it's mitameh b'tumas meis. Elo ish l'mutim mai. So then, what is ish taka coming to exclude? Ish asher yitmo v'lo yischata. What's it coming to exclude? L'mutei katan mikoris. It's coming to tell you that katan is patur from koris, right? That if he goes into the Beit HaMikdash while it has tumas meis, he's not chayiv. Right, so even though he does have the tumah, the reality of tumah is there on him. He's in kabel tumah from the mace, but still, if he goes to Beit Mikdash, he's not chayav kares. Taisus asks, "What do you need a pasuk? Our cotton's never chayav anything, right? He's never chayav kares." So it says over here, I think that because he has that tumah, so maybe he would have that Israel also. Usually, he's not shaykh at all to the whole Indian. Over here, he is shaykh. Okay. Right, no, so that's what Taisus asks. Taisus asks, what's the point? I use Pater Moishim always. Taisus' answer is that usually he's not neged to the whole Indian at all. Over here he actually has Tumah, so I would think maybe he is shaykh to that Mashmal and not. Okay. It's interesting that even so an after Katan really is Pater from Karas. That's what there's a few members brought down different places that until Bar Chov, until you're 20 years old, you're not chayav kares. So, I'm saying over here when it's discussed, it sounds like it's a chiddush at a katan, but really even after a katan, it shouldn't be chayav kares. But okay. Hakol mitam ben goyin. Everyone's mitam ben goyin. Let's see, we're in the middle of the page. Hakol mitam ben goyin. Let's see what's that coming to include? Let's see katan. It's coming to include a katan. Sagdak the ish tzoruk siv ish in katan loy. I would think ish tzorua, only a man who's a tzorua, he's mitameh. But a katan, not kamashmalan, maybe in a chanami. It says Gemara, Adam kieva ar b'sara. No, it says in the pasuk Adam. We call Malcolm any person who's considered human, considered a man, anyone who's considered human is mitameh ben a guy. Ve'ela ish lomali. So then, what do you need the pasuk of ish? You need it for the following. Ish and the other ish isha minan. How do you know that a woman could be mitameh b'tzaras? How do you know a woman has tzaras? Minan kshuomer ve'hatzarua asher bayanega. That's the pasuk at the end of the parsha of tzaras. Ve'hatzarua. It's sort of an extra word, an extra hey, an extra asher bayanega. However, you learn it exactly. Harekan shnai. We learn from that ve'hatzarua. So too a woman also. So what's the point of saying ish? The Indian shilmata, right? And this is why we brought this price because we want to know what the word ish is for, right? Ish, the Indian shilmata, ish peirea upeirim, ve'eno isha peiras upeiremis. At the end of that pasuk of Vatzarua, it says like this: Vatzarua shabei nega begadav yufrumim. Right? He has to go and put slamachan, and his clothing have to be torn. V'roshoya perua, and his hair, his head has to be messed up, right? Ve'alsa from yata, and he has to grow out his mustache. V'tomi tami yikra. So these type of things that tzarua has to do to proclaim his tumah. He's supposed to be getting embarrassed. He's supposed to be away from people, so people shouldn't be close to him. So that's only true by men. By women, not. By women, it's not shlias. It's not good. Too much of a disgrace, and therefore. They don't do that, and that's what we learn from ish. That ish is peireya upeirim, ve'ena isha peiram peiras upeiremis. Okay. Hakol royin is anagoyim. What about the brayso that says everyone can see the nagoyim? Hakol ksherim luris is anagoyim. Is that just a repetition? I think okay, or both of them at the same two separate braysos. One is royin. Hakol ksherim luris is anagoyim. Let's see in my. Right, everyone can come see and see whether it's a nega or not. Right, if someone has tzaras on whether on his hand, on his body, on his beggar, he has to get it checked out by someone who knows what tzaras is. Right, but it says hakol ksher in the mitzvah nega. Now, what's hakol coming to include? It's coming to include someone who really isn't well versed in what tzaras is and in its definitions exactly. Right, so even he can come and check out, right? Really, only a kohen can proclaim tzaras tameh. Right? So we're saying not only a kohen who knows what he's talking about, even if the kohen doesn't know what he's talking about, he still, when he proclaims the tameh, it works. Now, how does it work? It says the Gemara, "Eina baki b'heinu v'shv'seim, eina reis anagoyim." We have a price that says if you're not baki, you can't. Right? It makes a lot of sense. If you don't know what you're talking about, you take your paskin whether it's tzaras or not. So the Gemara, "Maravina." Like Kashya. What we mean to say, had the mitzvah levisavar. Pshat is that there's Rashi says there's a Talmid Chacham Yisrael standing next to him, and he's telling him this is tzaras, and this is the way it's supposed to look like, and therefore he explains it to him. And once the kohen understands it, and he says okay, then he says okay, it's tameh, and then it'll be tameh. But the price that says if he's not baki, it doesn't work. Can't be royas and agaim. Had the mitzvah levisavar. He doesn't even understand what you're talking about, or there's no Talmid Chacham there at all. Right, so he's passing out of Amaratzis and that, so that you can't be raised in a going. If he has some way of knowing, even though Taisi says the chiddush is, even though he doesn't really know all halachos. So he's not a mumche on tzaras. But right now, he knows this halacha because the Tanna Chacham explained to him, or you explained to him this specific thing. So therefore, that's enough. That's enough for him to proclaim something Tomei. Okay. Hakol Ksher in the Kaddish. Everyone's kosher for the mayim of paraduma. Right, to be mekadesh the mayim paraduma, you take the afer of the burnt red cow, the paraduma, you burn it, right, and then you mix it with the water. That's called kiddush mayim, kiddush afer para. So hakol ksherin lekadesh. Listen, what's it coming to include? Rabbi Yehuda l'suya katan says Gemara. Rabbanan l'suya isha. According to Rabbi Yehuda, it's coming to include a katan. Rabbanan, it's an isha that's not. Hakol ksherin lekadesh chutz mikasher to katan. That's the chachamim. So they would say, right? They would say it has to be including an isha. Rabbi Yehuda is machsher b'katan u'paisel b'isha b'androginus. He holds only a katan's fine, but not an isha b'androginus. Okay. And their reasoning is said over somewhere else. Okay. Hakokcher and the hazos. Everyone's kosher to sprinkle the water of the paraduma on the tamei mace. L'sui orel to include an orel. Someone doesn't have a bris milah. Orel shehiza. If an orel was the one who sprinkled the paraduma water, hazasik share, then it's kosher and the guy's tar. Rashi says we're talking about an orel shemesu echov machmas milah. It's only, but it sounds like from Rashi, right? It's only because he couldn't. It's dangerous for him because all his brothers died. So it was dangerous for him to get a milah. But it sounds like from Rashi, a regular oral wouldn't be good. Okay, we had this in Chulin. What's it coming to include? Chada l'suy kusi. So really, there's twice it says akol shoychim. Right? There's the first two prakim of the Masechet. So akol shoychim chada is l'suy kusi. It's going to include a kusi. So according to Manda Amar, who holds that a kusi is not really a goy, right? A kusi is they were somewhat gerim, right? So kusim, if a kusi shechs, it's fine as long as you could trust them, right? Bechada, let's see Yisrael mumur. The other one is to include Yisrael, who's a mumur, meaning he's over an avera, but we could still, even though he's over one avera, we could still trust him, even though we know he's over avera, so we can still trust him on shchita. The question is if we know which avera, but as long as it's not Shabbos or Avodah Zarah, and as long as it's not Nevela, so then we can trust him. Okay, that's what Hakol Shayach means. Hakol Malam Eretz Yisrael. Anyone can bring up to Eretz Yisrael. Let's see, what's coming to include? Let's say Avodim. If you have an Eved and you want to sell him in Chutz La'aretz, he can force the Adain to say, no, you only can sell me in Eretz Yisrael. It's Hakol Malam Eretz Yisrael. The Mishnah over there in the Ksubas is talking about how a husband and a wife, right, if they're living in Eretz Yisrael and the husband wants to go to Chutz La'aretz, he can't force her, right? But the opposite, he could. That's Hakol Malam Eretz Yisrael. What's it coming to? L'suya Avodim. It's include Avodim. Okay, Uman Detani Avodim. How about according to the one that actually says Avodim in the Mishnah? So what's Hakol Malam Eretz Yisrael coming to include? Behedya. What's coming to include? It's coming to include that you can force him even if you have a good house in Chutz La'aretz, right, and a bad house in Eretz Yisrael. It's not so pretty. It's not such a good house, but still you can force him. The Ein Hakol Moitzin. What about Ein Hakol Moitzin? And not everybody, or everyone cannot take you out of Eretz Yisrael. What's that coming to include? So you have it Shabarach Mechutz La'aretz, that if you have a slave that escaped the master from Chutz La'aretz and goes to Eretz Yisrael, you can't take him out of Eretz Yisrael and give him back to the master. Okay? Hakol Malin Yerushalayim L'Suyei. What's that going to include? That also a similar thing. Everyone can be forced to go to Yerushalayim. That's coming to include also if you have a nevei hayofa, if you have a good house, a good dwelling place outside Yerushalayim, and you want to force him to go to Yerushalayim, even though it's a nevei hara, it's not such a good house, still it's fine. That's why you can't take him out. What's that coming to include? Even if you're going to a better house, outside of Yerushalayim, you still can't force anyone to go. Okay. Hakol chayavim b'sukkah. Now we're going to go on to a different set of diyukim. Still not back to Erchin, but in general, whenever the Brisa say Kohanim, Levim, and Yisraelim, right? What's it coming to say? Pshita, obviously. Kol Chavim B'Sukkah, right? Kohanim, Levim, and Yisraelim. This is more Pshita. If not for the Kohanim, Levim, and Yisraelim being Chayiv, so who is Chayiv? Man Mechayiv. So why do you have to tell me that Kohanim, Levim, and Yisraelim are all Chayiv and Sukkah? Says the Gemara, Kohanim it's three Chalei. I needed to tell me Kohanim. Saga, I think. Since it says in the pasuk, Basukais Teishavu, you have to sit in the sukkah. The Amar Mar Teishavu, Shivas Yamim, Kain Taduru. Teishavu has to be Kain Taduru. It has to be as if you live. Ma Dira Ishvi Ishtai. So just like a Dira, just like when you live in your house, it could be Ishvi Ishtai, a man and a woman together, a husband and wife together. Af Sukkah Ishvi Ishtai. So too, a sukkah has to be, the only people who are chayiv in sukkah are people who can live there, husband and wife. V'hani kohanim, and these kohanim, since they specifically on Yom Tov, for sure they have to work in the Beit HaMikdash, they have to be tohar, right? Which means that they can't be with their wife in the sukkah. If they can't be with their wife in the sukkah, so then because they have to make sure they're tohar for tomorrow, or so therefore. They really can't dwell in the sukkah like a regular human dwells in his house, i.e. with his wife. So therefore, maybe they should be pater. Kamash Malan comes the Bryce and teaches us. You're right, b'shas avoda they're pater. But when they're not doing avoda, so they are chayev. Just we have a parallel similar situation by Hilchei Drachim. If someone's traveling, we learned in the Bryce. So Hilchei Drachim, someone's traveling. So Bayam P'tur, Bayam is Pater. Why? Because anyway he's traveling, right? Even if he owns a house, he's not in the house. He's traveling, right? The sukkah doesn't have to be more than your own house, right? But that's only Bayam when he's actually traveling during the day when there's light. They travel. So Hilchei Drachim Bayam P'tur min sukkah. Sorry, Why? Because once they get to the hotel, so they should sleep in a hotel that's a sukkah hotel, right? And not a regular house, right? So when they're actually living, when they're dwelling, when they're in a house, they have to have a sukkah. But when they're traveling, they're not in a house anyway. They're not in any house, so they're pater. So too the chacham, the kohanim also, they're only pater when they're doing avodah. Right, but when they're not doing avodah, they're right chayiv in sukkah. Okay. The fact that at certain points they're obligated not to be in the sukkah, let's say, right? The fact that at certain points they're not shaykh to chuppah doesn't exempt them from the whole mitzvah of sukkah at all, right? Only at that time they're exempt from sukkah. Then when they go back home, they have to be in the sukkah.
They have to be in the sukkah with a wife.
Kerem and Levim, right?
Sukkah for you and your wife. That's what they're chayiv.
Right. But I mean, that's what Gemara is saying.
Right. The Gemara is conceding that a kohen is pater.
Shas avodah. Shas avodah is pater. Right. No, but the question is Rashi explained that the reason why they're not shaykh to be there with their wife.
Or is it only? What do you mean b'shas avodah?
Well, B'shas avodah, when they're actually working, they're pater.
When they're actually working, they're not in the sukkah. What do you mean? You mean the nights that they're...
Rashi doesn't fear us, how he explains the issue. As Rashi says, B'nei avodah ve'en yichol lo ish v'ishter b'sukkah, she'en yiskaken l'nsheiseim. They can't be with their wives. The Rami Elayu avodas haregel. Right? When? During the day? Well, what's the big deal? I'm saying at night they could be, right?
Because
also the child is going to become tummy. No, so now what are we saying? Are they going to become tummy now? Is that a problem? Tell them to go to the mikvah. What's the big deal?
He's Erev Shemesh, so the whole day almost at the avodah.
Okay, so then what are we talking saying?
That's why he can't be Menusha.
He has to be in the sukkah, but now it is like.
So you don't have the key to do it, so you don't have the whole key in the sukkah.
No, and I understand. So what's the teretz? What's the Gemara saying? The Gemara is saying no. It's even though they're not chayiv b'shas avodah, they're chayiv shalei b'shas avodah. Why? They can't be with their wife. Isn't the kasha pretty good? As if you're saying that it's totally in whether or not he can be with his wife. So I understand why was the Beis Hamikdash. That's like Kol Chedrachim. That I can understand. But when he goes home, and you're telling me that it's important for him to be able to be with his wife, right? So he can't be with his wife if he's a kohen, right? No, so he's saying he can't go to the mikveh because you need to go to the mikveh before shkia. Someone who's Tamei Tumah Shech Vazera, you have to go to the mikveh before shkia, and then the Harav Shemesh is what's matar you. But okay, maybe the Gemara is just falling out of that reasoning. Right. No, but it's for him. The way he's Mekayim B'chiv Sukkah is if he can do Kein to do. Okay.
So the other 51 weeks of the year he gets higher, or he's saying even that week.
Which?
The Kohen's higher the other 51 weeks of the year that he's not doing the logo.
What's he chayev?
Sukkah. He's not chayev Sukkah.
Sukkah's only on Sukkahs.
Right. So. Oh, but everybody's working on Yom Tov.
Right, so it sounds like they needed a lot of workers on Yom Tov for the minute. Tosi says, Kamash Malon. See, Afal Gav Deloy Efshar Lahu, even though the Taka can't, Kein Dira Mamish, right? Just like they can't do Mamish, Kein Dira, Kehechi De Efshar Lahu, when they can, Mechayvi. Okay, and even though really at certain points they can't do Kein to the way, even though they can't do it a full Kein to do, but as much as they can do, they should do. I guess that's what Tais is saying. And the raya from Holchei Drachim is a different raya, because the Holchei Derech at night he's fully in the sukkah, right? He could be with his wife even, right? Over here it's a sort of a parallel saying just like he the whole day is in Mekayim Kein to Duru, so too the Kohanim don't have to be Mekayim a full Kein to Duru. They're Mekayim a partial Kein to Duru at night. Okay. Fine, weiter.
I was wondering why do you have to go into this whole thing with the Kein to Duru? Why don't you say I see the mitzvah is bottom and a mitzvah? Very simple.
It was at night. What about at night?
So at night, so?
It's at night, they're not doing avodah. There's no avodah at night. So if you go home, you should be part from sukkah. The Gemara is saying a svar why even at night is part because it's not really a dira. Okay, Akol Chavim B'Tfilin, Kohanim Living Yisrael. Pshita. I skipped. Akol Chavim B'Tzitzis, Kohanim Living Yisrael. Pshita says the Gemara. Again, it's Pashut obviously. Kohanim is Tzrichalei. It says in the pasuk, "Lois Bashatnez and Gedilim Tasaloch," which are tzitzis, right next to each other. Mandalay Ishtri B'Kilayim. Someone who's asur in Kilayim, who's not mutter in Kilayim, legabei for him. Mandalay Ishtri Kilayim legabei b'levisha. Someone who's not allowed to wear Kilayim. So then, who the mechayev bin tzitzis? One is contingent on the other. Like till Bashatnez, then Gedilim Tasaloch. V'hani Kayhanim. But these kind of because the Avnei, one of the big Dekuna had Kilayim. So you see, Kilayim doesn't apply to them, right? Therefore, I say loyli chayvu. Maybe they should be chayv and tzitzis. Kamash balon. No, even though you're right. When they're doing avodah and they're wearing the big Dekuna, their potter. Not during the time of avodah. Loy ishtri. It's not mutter. So they are shaykh to shatnez. So they would be shaykh to tzitzis too. Okay, Akol Chayovin B'Tfilin Kohanim Living Yisrael. Pshita. Again, Kohanim is Tzrichalei. Saka no hoyluk siv Kshartem Lois Al Yodecha V'Tovais B'nei Necha. It says Kshartem Lois Al Yodecha Mitzvah Tefillin Shal Yad V'Tovais B'nei Necha is the Tefillin of Shal Rosh. Kol I would think Kol the Isa B'Mitzvah the Yad Isa B'Mitzvah the Rosh. Anyone who is shaykh to the Mitzvah of Yad is shaykh to the Mitzvah of Rosh. It's both contingent on each other. The Hani Kohanim, these Kohanim, however less new the mitzvah yad, they cannot wear the tefillin shel yad. Why? The ksiv yilbash al besorai, right? The ksain is bad kodesh, whatever. They have to wear the kahuna on their actual basar. Yilbash al besorai. Shelo yehi davar chaytzes beino ben besorai. There shouldn't be anything It's chaytzitz between him and between the kohen, between the beina, between the beged and the basar of the kohen. So therefore they can't wear tefillin in between. Rashi says you can't wear tefillin on top of the beged, because there seems to be an issue of chatzitza, right? It's chatzitza in the that's not what Rashi says. Rashi says, right? Rashi says that there's a drasha of vayal l'chol le'ois le'l acherem lo'ois. It means tefillin shel yad has to be covered, and if it's on top of the beged, it's not covered. It's interesting why you can't cover it again. But from here we learn that you can't that by tefillin shel yad is the problem of chatzitza. Okay, either way, so therefore they can't wear tefillin because they have to. They can't be chatzitza between the big dikun. So therefore, I would think also. Ema b'mitzvah d'rosh nami lo lechav. I would think maybe this should be pater from mitzvah d'rosh. Kamash malon, no, delay makvi adadi. That it's not contingent one on the other. If you could do the yad without the rosh without yad, you're still chayiv. If not, tefillah shel yad inen makev shel rosh, v'shel rosh inen makev shel yad. Mishnah menachos, right? So it's not me'akev. You should do it either way. Umay shno the yad says the Gemara. Why are you picking on yad? Tiksiv yilbash al b'sorah, because it says yilbash al b'sorah. The begadim have to be al b'sorah. Rosh nami ksiv sometimes it's nefesh al rosha. His hat has to be mamish al rosha, and if you have the tefillin under the hat, then it's also chatzitza. Says the Gemara Tana. We learn our Beit Sa'ara Hayanira ben tzitz nefesh. There was his hair was able to be seen in between the tzitz. This is a kohen gadol, right? In between the tzitz and the mitznefesh. The tzitz was on his forehead. The mitznefesh was a little further back, so he had a little space to put on tefillin. Sheshama niach tefillin. Okay, so the mitznefesh didn't go on the whole head. There was room to put tefillin. Hakol chayov mitzkiya shayfer kehanim v'im Yisrael. And Pshita says in Gemara kehanim strichale. Again, talking the Chmina Holuk Siv Yom Shor Yelachem. Since it says in the pasuk Yom Shor Yelachem by Rosh Hashanah, right? Man delay se other b'dikiyah dechad yom. Only someone who's chayiv, who's shayach to one day of blowing shayach Rosh Hashanah. The Hani Kayanim. Therefore, he's chayiv, right? Hani Kayanim hoyil leisnu b'dikiyah kulei shasa. The whole year they're listening to Tikiyah. So why Diksiv? Uskatem achatzoytzeres. You have to blow the trumpets. Alulei seichem. On every other, so every carbon they had right, they had many times they had shofar, so maybe there shouldn't be chayiv in kiyas. Says the Gemara, dami. Awesome chatzoitzos. Over there, it's a trumpet. Alcha shofar. When we're talking shofar, it's a whole different thing, right? So don't tell me you might think that only but the kohanim, since they don't have it all the time. It's a different thing that they have. So therefore, they should still. Why there should be chayiv in shofar? So the Gemara, it's just like that chamina. Since it says in the Mishnah, Shavei Yovel Rosh Hashanah. Yovel is equal to Rosh Hashanah, L'Tkiyah, for Tkiyas, that you have the Yom Kippur of Yovel, you have to do Tkiyas. Ulu Brachos, Rashi says that they do Malchius, Zechronis, and Shofros on Yom Kippur of Yovel. So therefore, since it says Shavei Yovel Rosh Hashanah, L'Tkiyah Ulu Brachos, I would think the Isei b'mitzvahs Yovel, someone who's shaykh to mitzvahs Yovel, Isei b'mitzvahs Rosh Hashanah. Then he's also chayav in Rosh Hashanah. The Leisei b'mitzvahs Yovel, someone who's not chayav in the mitzvah of Yovel, Leisei b'mitzvahs Rosh Hashanah, they're not shaykh to the mitzvahs Rosh Hashanah either. Why? Because you see that there's a connection. The Brisa seems to think there's a connection Rosh Hashanah and Yovel. So the Gemara V'hani Kayanim. Since they're not shaykh to Yovel. Now, in what way are Kayanim not shaykh to Yovel? It's none. Kayanim will be moichim lo'elam v'goylam lo'elam. Regularly, we're going to learn coming up in the Masechet the Sdei Achuzah. If you sell your Sdei Achuzah, the nachla that you got from your shevet, right? If you sell it, so it goes back by Yovel. Sell it to you, but when Yovel comes around, everyone gets back their fields, right? How about if I sell it on Yovel itself? So on Yovel itself, there can't be any sale. Because Adrab, Yovel's machzir. Yovel always gets it back to you, right? So you can't sell on Yovel either. So, however, Kohanim can be moicher on Yovel. Kohanim had their migroshin, they were given certain parts of land, even though they didn't have an actual nachal, they were given some lands. So if a kohen has land and he sells it, right? So he can sell even on Yovel. So you see that din of Yovel that you can't sell land doesn't apply to Kohanim. The Goyel and Oilam also means that when you sell your field, you can't redeem it right away. If you want to redeem it, you want to pay back and get back your nachal, you can't sell it right away. You have to wait 2 years. That's the Gemara learns it out. Right? But Kohanim can force the guy to sell it back to them right away. They can redeem their field back if they had sold it right away. They don't have to wait 2 years. So you see, certain dinim of Yovel don't apply to Kohanim. So Ema b'mitzvahs Rosh Hashanah nam b'lo l'chav. You see, maybe they're not so shaykh to Yovel. There's a connection to Yovel and Rosh Hashanah. They shouldn't be chayiv either. Mashallah, nehida lesnu b'shmotas karka. You're right, even though they're not shaykh to certain halachas in shmotas karka, meaning karka going back, they're not shaykh to those things. B'shmotas ksafim. But if they loan somebody, right, the loan does get nullified by Yovel, like all other like by Shemitah also, right? They are shaykh tashmatas ksafim of Yovel, and b'shiluch avodim they also have to send their avodim. So avodim, even though it's certain for certain things they're not shaykh, but they are shaykh to Yovel because in other things they are shaykh. So therefore, they even shaykh to Rosh Hashanah. That's why you need to say Kehanim.